Yo, welcome to another video about CSGO skins. I'm sorry, I know. 2 videos about CSGO skins back to back, but honestly, there's probably gonna be even more of these, just because I really enjoy CSGO at the moment, and I like getting nerdy about the games that I play. Also, don't look at my rank. Yeah, I D-ranked again. Let's just not talk about it. So today what we are doing is I decided to make a tier list because in my previous video I was talking about the CSGO knives that I am considering buying. But in this video, I want to actually rank all of the CSGO knives and tell you guys exactly why I would rank certain knives the way I would. There are some knives that I think are absolute bangers, but are just really expensive, which is why I don't want to buy them, because either I just cannot afford them, or I technically can afford them, but I just don't want to put that much money into a single skin in a video game that I don't even know like how long I'm gonna keep playing. In front of me, I have a CSGO skin tester. On this, I can generate skins, basically, and I obviously cannot use them in-game, but I can just fuck around with them on the server that I'm currently on, which means that I can like show you guys their animations, how they look in-game, shit like that. And then over here we have a CSGO knife tier list. So I say we just get started with this. So the first one we have is the regular bayonet. So let's generate one. It doesn't look like I can actually generate vanilla versions of the knives, which is a bit weird. So I'm probably just gonna go with like Damascus steel or something like that, because that's like the closest I can get. Starting off with the regular bayonet. Oh yeah, I know. So I have this op Asimov currently as my primary, because I'm actually getting traded this from Skinport in like 2 days, and it's like my dream op skin in the game, and I'm really excited to be using it. I basically went balls to the wall and I spent like almost $300 on skins, and I put them into 2 skins actually. I got a AK Bloodsport, which I'm getting traded in just under 2 days, and then I got this op Asimov, which I'm getting traded in just over 2 days. And this is literally my dream AK and op skins. So anyway, let's get to the point. The regular bayonet is honestly one of my favorite knives in the game. I absolutely adore this knife. The way it like spins around your hand when you pull it out, I think is fucking awesome. The inspect animation as well, absolutely nothing wrong with it. The right click, nothing wrong with it, as you can see. The left click as well, absolutely nothing wrong with it. I adore the regular bayonet. So the regular bayonet, I'm giving it probably an S tier. It's either a low S or a very, very high A. I love the regular bayonet. Next up is, I believe, the Bowie knife. The regular Bowie knife, I think it's solid. This pull-out animation, I think is fucking sick. It is really, really well done. However, I do have to say, I also really like the right click on it. Like, it feels really forceful, right? I already like explained this in the previous video, as well as the fact that I think that the inspect animation is good. I just wish that it was holding the actual grip of the knife and not the blade. The right click of the Bowie knife, however, I think is fucking awful. This is the stupidest left click any of the fucking knives have. This looks so dumb. So because of that, the Bowie knife is going in the A tier. Good knife, would use it myself, but it could have been better. Next up is ADHD Material. Next up is the butterfly knife. Now this is easily the most fidgety knife of every single one. I mean, just look at like how much it spins and stuff. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie here. I think it fidgets too much. I think it's great for people with like, you know, fucking ADD or ADHD or whatever the hell. I do think it's a really, really fancy knife. It looks cool and it's very original, so I do like it. But I feel like it's a bit too fidgety for me to use in game. And I'm also not the biggest fan of the exterior. I feel like the blade is really, really thin. I don't like that. The biggest charm of the knife is how much it like spins and shit, and like the fancy animations that it has. That and the fact that this knife is fucking expensive. So pull-out animation is alright. The left click, I mean like nothing wrong with it. The right click, I mean nothing wrong with it. The left click, I actually think is better than on the bayonet. For some reason, not like slicing with it. I don't know why, but something about that animation just clicks in my head. The inspect animation, is just too fidgety. I can respect this knife for what it is, it's just not really my cup of tea. But because it is such a unique knife, I am willing to put it in A tier, because I do feel like it deserves it. Next up is the classic knife. Now this one is gonna be interesting, because I've heard a lot of different opinions about the classic knife. I've heard some people say that it's like one of the best knives in the game, and then some people say that the only reason it's been added is because Valve was trying to make more money off the game by adding source items, which I think is fucking stupid. I think the pull-out animation is really, really good. It's really sleek, and you know, it's not too much, so I like it. What I don't like about it is the amount of rare animations this knife has. Watch me inspect the knife a few times. So this is the first time that I'm gonna inspect it. So he just does the usual, like, you know, looking at the knife from both sides. Now let me do it again. See, it's different. Like, I don't know where it's different, and then I do it again, and then it's gone. And it happens quite frequently. The amount of rare animations that this knife has is a bit too much. The right click, you know, nothing wrong with it. The left and right click on this knife are pretty standard, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So I think I'm going to put this knife probably in low A or high B. I would probably use one of these in game, but there's definitely better options out there. Next up is the falchion knife, better known as the Fitz knife, because I don't think any other CSGO YouTuber actually uses this thing. Fitz is like the only one, I'm pretty sure. So the pull-out animation on this knife, I think it's ugly. I'm just gonna be like really straightforward here. I think it's really, really ugly. It almost looks like the knife is kind of broken and he's putting the blade like in place so it doesn't break off. That's kind of what this looks like. You see that? Maybe that's just me getting way too deep into it, but that's just what it looks like to me. The right click, I think, is disgusting. This is what the left click should have been, in my opinion. I also don't like the fact that it doesn't go both ways. The left click, however, I mean, it's fine. And I'm also not gonna lie, I think that the knife shape itself is not really the best. This knife is going into the C tier because I just think it's ugly as shit. Next up is the flip knife. A lot of people absolutely adore this knife. I'm kind of in the middle, honestly. So the flip knife. A lot of people really, really like this knife, and I can definitely see why, but I do have some flaws with it. First of all, this pull-out animation is cool and it definitely fits the name flip knife, but I just don't really like it. I think that the way the blade flips out, it looks a bit odd. I don't know, something looks off about it. I feel like it would have made more sense if the pull-out animation of the bayonet would have actually been the flip knife pull-out animation. That would have actually made sense, like flipping the knife like around your hand as you pull it out. This pull-out animation, I'm just not the biggest fan of. It looks a bit underwhelming. The inspect animation, I mean, it's pretty standard, you know, like he's just inspecting the knife. There's absolutely nothing wrong here. The right click, again, really, really standard, and the left click, nothing wrong with it. The shape of the flip knife, I actually think is quite cool. And I feel like in a situation where I wanted a CSGO knife right now, and for whatever reason, I would not be able to get my hands on a Huntsman, Bowie, bayonet, or anything, this would probably be like my last resort. Because it is an OG knife, which I respect it for, and it's a lot of people's like fan favorite. So this is probably gonna go I think I'm gonna put it in B just because I do like it, but not as much as these three. The gut knife. Oh, I hate this knife. Oh, I hate that knife. Oh my god. I am not even gonna like sugarcoat this one. I absolutely despise the gut knife. It is so ugly. First of all, what is that like weird thing at the top? Why does it look like that? It looks so stupid. Second of all, the blade is super fucking fat. It looks like a fucking kitchen knife. This knife shape kind of reminds me of like a fish. I don't know why. This looks like some kind of fish, the way it's like really fat in the middle. The pull-out animation is the same as the Huntsman. Actually, I'm pretty sure all of the animations are the same as the Huntsman. So it's basically just a worse, cheaper Huntsman. That's going in the D tier. I fucking hate the gut knife. Don't buy it. Next up is the Huntsman. Basically, the better gut knife. This is probably gonna be also the knife that I'm gonna buy for myself. I think this has won over the Bowie knife. I think I'm gonna get this one. And then eventually, I think I might sell this knife and use that money to get a bayonet. The pull-out animation is the exact same as the gut knife. I mean, like I said, all of the animations on it are the same as the gut knife. It just looks way, way, way better. The only little problem that I have with it that I already explained in the previous video is the fact that when you inspect it, it looks like your thumb is not touching the knife. You see that? It looks really, really weird. I know it's like a visual bug, but it's super annoying that they like never fix that. But overall, Bowie knife is gonna go in high A. Actually, I might even put it in S, but the only reason I'm not putting it in S is because there is some other knives that I want to put there. But if you're looking for a budget knife, the Huntsman is definitely the way to go. Next up is the Karambit. Well, I think it's pretty easy as to what I'm gonna put that in. The Karambit is easily like almost everyone's favorite knife in CSGO. Mainly because you can just do this all the time. You can literally just walk around the map and just spin the knife around your hand. The animations for this knife are fucking cool. The pull-out animation, fucking sick. The way like spins it around his finger. The inspect animation doing like FR all the time, so the animation like loops constantly, is super, super clean. It's almost like a fidget spinner knife, and I think it's really, really cool. I know it's super expensive, but there's a really fair reason for it. The Karambit is fucking incredible. That's an easy S tier. Top of S. Best knife in CSGO. M9 bayonet. You guys are probably gonna be surprised here, but I think this is worse than the regular bayonet. I still think it's a pretty cool knife. However, I do have some flaws with it. First of all, I am not a fan of those little teeth it has on the side that is looking towards me. And second of all, I think that the blade is a little bit too big. The animations are obviously, you know, fine. They're like the standard animations. There's nothing like special about them, which I do like. But between the regular bayonet and the M9, I would personally go with the regular bayonet. So I'm still putting this one in A tier, but I'm gonna put it, you know what, fuck it, I'm putting it top of A just because I don't like the blade. Navaja knife, better known as a fucking toenail clipper. This is the cheapest knife in all of CSGO. And there's a reason why, because it looks fucking disgusting. I mean, even the pull-out animation of this knife. What the hell is that? It looks fucking disgusting. It looks like a really, really low-end flip knife almost. Like the way he pulls out the blade. Look how long the fucking grip is, and look how tiny the blade is. It is stupid. D tier, easy. I'm gonna put it in front of the gut knife though. Because I do think that the gut knife is worse than this. Because with the Navaja knife, you can at least like meme around with, you know, like a super cheap knife. You can like quickly buy one of these and just use them for the sake of, I don't know, making a funny joke. The gut knife, you can't even do that because it actually costs a decent bit of money. Next up is the Nomad knife. I don't remember shit about this knife. I'm not gonna lie. I've not looked at it in like 14 years. The Nomad knife. The pull-out animation of this knife. What in the I don't remember it being like that. Okay, this pull-out animation is a D tier. I hate this pull-out animation. I like the fact that they went the extra mile. It just didn't end up working out. This is disgusting. I think it's mainly because I'm so used to the pull-out animations of the original knives because I've been involved with CSGO for like so many years that this pull-out animation just looks wrong to me. The inspect animation, I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's just the default animation. The knife itself also like actually looks pretty good. The right click, nothing wrong with it. Left click, also nothing wrong with it. Very default animations. Just the pull-out animation. Oh my god, I hate it. And this, the fact that if you pull it out and switch to F right away, it skips the animation, that is horrible. They need to change that. They're not going to, but they should. So I'm going to put it in the C tier, I think, because I do think it's an okay knife, but I would definitely not use it. I don't even know what this one is. Is that the paracord knife? I think so. The paracord. First of all, I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have like a thingy in between the grip and the blade, if you know what I mean. I don't know what it's called, but all the other knives have like a clear separation between the grip of the knife and the blade, and this one does not. The pull-out animation, I don't like it. I think it's very weird looking. It could have been a lot better. This is a really lame pull-out animation. It would have been better if, for example, the knife like spun around his hand again or something. This just feels like wasted potential. I don't like it. I do like that it has a rare pull-out animation. That is a pretty cool thing, but even the rare pull-out animation I don't really like. I think this was added at the same time as the Nomad knife, and I'm just not a fan of it. It's got the defaults, right and left click, so nothing wrong with that. The inspect animation, again, not the biggest fan of it. That's gonna go in low C. Just not enough that I would use. Shadow daggers. This one's gonna be interesting. The shadow daggers are the second cheapest knife, or knives, technically, in all of CSGO. Right behind the Navaja knife. These things are not that expensive. And a lot of people actually really like them. They're really unique, and back in the day, these were literally the most unique knives in CSGO. Because of the fact that they technically weren't real knives. They were more like, you know, well, daggers. So, the pull-out animation is alright. I actually really like it. I also like the inspect animation. The way he like flips the right dagger around his finger, I think is really, really good looking. The right and left click, I think that the left click is fine. This right click, how he like uses both at the same time, I like the idea. Execution could have been better. It would have been cool if you made it like crisscross or something. That would have been really, really cool. A lot of people say that the shadow daggers are lame. I personally don't mind them. I'm gonna put them in high B. I kind of fuck with the shadow daggers. What the fuck even is that? Is that the skeleton knife? The skeleton knife. I like the concept of it. I think it looks really, really cool. However, I feel like it's wasted potential. They should have done more with this knife. The fact that it has a hole in the middle, they could have made a lot better use of it. The pull-out animation of this knife? Nah. Whoa, okay. That red pull-out animation is sick. That is really cool, but the default one sucks. The default animation looks like he tries to like throw it up and catch it, but he's like too afraid to drop it on the floor. But that rare animation is fucking cool. The inspect, the regular one is okay. And the rare one is really, really cool, but I wish it went on for longer. Default's right and left click, so nothing wrong there. Skeleton knife is gonna go in high C. I think it's gonna go in front of the... No, I'm actually gonna put it behind the falchion. I would probably prefer the falchion over this one. Stiletto knife. I don't know why this was added to the game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry to say this, but the stiletto knife is ugly as fuck. I absolutely hate how in the inspect animation, he's holding it like this. And not, you know, the full grip. It just looks really off. I really, really hate it. The pull-out animation, it's fine. I actually feel like this animation is kind of what the flip knife should have been like. Right and left click are standard, so no problems there. But this inspect animation, oh my god, I hate it so much. I actually remember when Anomaly unboxed a Ruby Stiletto at one point during a unboxing video. And I low-key felt bad for him because I feel like this is like one of the most unlucky knives you could get a Ruby on. Because imagine that's like the first knife you ever unboxed, like you have to use it. Yes, it's a Ruby, which is cool, but it's a fucking stiletto. I'm gonna put it in a high C. I'm gonna put it between the skeleton and the Nomad. I don't like the stiletto. What is that? Literally never seen that knife before in my life. Oh, a survival knife, right? I'm not gonna lie, I forgot this knife exists, which is already not a good sign, but here we go anyway. This survival knife. So the pull-out animation, that's lame. That's really, really lame. I also do not like the shape of it. I do not like the little details it has. I do not like the top of it kind of reminds me of the gut knife. That thing right there should not be there. And also the little teeth it has on the other side, as well as that kind of hole in the middle. There's just too many holes and too much wrong with the shape of this knife. Let's see the inspect animation. I mean, pretty standard, nothing wrong there. And defaults right and left click, so nothing wrong there. Does it have a rare animation? It does. And I don't like how that looks. What the hell? I mean, that's kind of cool looking, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't like the new gen CSGO knives. I was gonna go and see as well. Just all of these like new gen CSGO knives as well as the Falchion. Just really not my cup of tea. Talon knife. Karambit 2.0 basically. I'm not going to give this one a high rating. I'm just gonna preface that right now just because first of all, this animation right here, this right click and left click. Let me pull up a Karambit knife real quick and you'll notice how similar they are. This is the right click of the Karambit. This is the left click of the Karambit. I'm gonna pull up a side-by-side comparison right here on screen of the Karambit and the Talon. The right and left click are fucking identical. I do not like it. The pull-out animation, nah. It would have been cooler if it spun around the entire finger instead of whatever the hell this is. I also do not like the sound that it makes. It sounds like it's broken. What the fuck is that noise? It sounds like something's broken in the knife. I don't know. Overall, the inspect animation, it's also too similar to the Karambit, so I'm gonna give this a pretty low rating. I'm gonna put this in very, very low B just because I've been putting too many in the C tier. Overall, this knife is okay. I just do not like how much it represents the Karambit. And I get that, you know, that's logic because that's how the knife is in real life, but it was their choice to make the right and left click of this knife the exact same as the Karambit. They should have done more with it. Ursus. I don't remember anything about this knife. So let's see the pull-out animation. Oh, it's that one again. Does it have a rare animation? Let me see. Does it have a rare pull-out animation? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't look like it has a rare pull-out animation because I've been pulling it out constantly and... Oh, no, it does. But it is really underwhelming. Let's try the inspect. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of how he's like holding his thumb, but what in the... Okay, that's a bit... okay, the left and right click are literally just fucking identical. I don't know. This knife is really not my cup of tea, but I also don't think it's criminal, so I think I'm probably gonna put it in very, very low B because I do like the shape that it has. And there we go. This is my tier list of knives. Let me know what you guys thought of this video while I sit here and play around with my Karambit Autotronic that I generated that I'll probably never own because these things just keep going up in price. And like the moment I have enough money to actually buy one of these, their price like doubles. And then I cry in a corner because I really, really, really wish that I could own one. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this tier list. Let me know if you guys would put any knives in a different tier and why. And don't flame me too hard. This is my honest opinion.